an effective time to fill a position is 45 days. Let's say a professional position. Mm-hmm. So creating a process that supports that and doesn't linger. If you're filling it underneath 45 days, even better. So responsiveness and speed has to do with the interactions with the candidate after they're applying or after they first have an engagement with the company, whether it be a first phone interview, and then afterwards showing a cadence to the candidate that is a nice tempo, you know, and rounding that out with, let's say, a next day reach out to the candidate that says, okay, we've decided that we want you to move forward to the next round, and then so on and so forth. And then say if there is a decision going on with the hiring team and they just don't know yet, and it's going to take a few days, having the proactive mindset to say, all right, who's going to reach out to Katie to have a Zoom coffee with her while we're making our decision, because she's our top candidate right now and I don't want to lose her. And Bill is our, second, runner up, and I don't want to lose him either. So who in our process, while we're going through the approval process or decision-making process for the next few days, can continue to reach out to this top candidate? And those reach outs are huge. They show the candidate that the company is on the ball. They're responsive. There's a speed, there's a cadence that keeps going like this versus, interview and then nothing. So, and it matters. It matters because if a company is like what I just described, doing those things, and a candidate is interviewing with a company that's not, who do you think wins if they're trying to, right? Who do you think wins? The one who's doing it. So you really have to step up and look at this as like a team project to get the best person, not just on the recruiter, not just on the hiring manager, not just on the human resource person. It's really a team effort to show this type of behavior.
So the key is really making this is not just one person's job, right? Is what I hear you saying, is like we need to get everyone thinking in the mindset of, hey, imagine this is a customer, right? How do we deliver a wow experience for a customer? We need to be doing the same thing for these candidates. How do we deliver a wow experience? And that takes everybody on the team being involved, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Everyone on the team, even somebody who's going to be their colleague, if they're an A player.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so probably a key to their decision-making process, right? Is like, if they're a real A player, they want to know, all right, are there other A players on this team? Am I coming on to a winner, winning team? So what are some ways you've seen organizations do this well, where they get their not just the hiring manager or not just HR department, but they get some of their A players involved in the process? Have you seen anyone do this?
Oh yeah, we see it all the time.
So how are they doing it well?
How are they doing it well? Well, they communicate with that colleague up front, so they know what role they're going to play in the interview process. So they're prepared. Usually there's some type of conversation that is in advance that says, listen, this person is in a decision-making mode. They're kind of building it up this way. And so we'd like you to talk to them to help sell the opportunity. There needs to be a mission, right? And then they effectively do. I mean, in all these years I've been in business, I've rarely seen it go wrong. Unless that hiring manager chooses a C player, they choose the wrong person who really, does a reverse on what we wanted them to do. So,
well, I could see, but that would be a good thing. I mean, right? If I have an A player that's part of the interview process, a team member, and they're meeting with a candidate, and the candidate is nervous about joining our team because of the commitment to excellence, it's probably a sign they're not a fit for the team. So I could see that actually being helpful.
Oh yeah. If they didn't like that A player conversation, for sure.
Right. Yeah. But now,
a lot of people view the C players as a turnoff as well, on the same notion there, because they're like, this person wasn't energetic. They seem like they didn't like their job. And then they start to question why the employer put that person in front. So it's just as important to make sure you're not getting those duds in front of the interview process.
Well, what I'm hearing kind of between the lines here, and I think this was what you were alluding to with the culture, is ultimately just a mindset shift here, which I think a lot of us need to work on just with our current team members, which is we're really thinking about what can we do to create a wow experience for team members? What can we do? The way I like to put it is, what can we do to help people to thrive, right? Where they're not just coming for a paycheck, but they're thriving.
Right.
And it seems to me like you're building this in to the recruiting process, right? Where from day one, you're demonstrating that, like with the responsiveness, to me, you're demonstrating a couple of things here, right? One, that you're organized, that you're a well-run organization.
Yep.
If you have this follow-up, but you're also demonstrating that you actually care about people. Like, I'm going to set the expectation. Hey, we really like the interview, and we need a couple days to make our final decision. So we wanted to let you know we should have a decision by X time.
Yep.
That little step, it demonstrates that you care, and it demonstrates that you're organized at the same time.
Yep.
So is that kind of what you're seeing, where there's just like this we really need to shift our mindsets to how we're approaching recruiting and kind of creating this environment that demonstrates that we truly do care about people?
Oh, 100%. We had a hiring manager just last week who's at a major conference she's speaking at, and she's engaged with it. She's very active, but we've got somebody who's at a final stage interview, and that person needs to make a decision. So she literally carved out time. I know that sounds like not a big deal, but a lot of C-levels won't do that if they're at a big summit or a conference. And now that's happening again a lot. So she carved out time. She didn't care and did it, where other employers might say, I'm going to do it next week when I'm back. So the small decision becomes a massive one for candidates' perception.